webinar. So very good morning to you, and today we'll be discussing about how to prepare for the e-invoicing compliance that has been introduced by the GST Council. So I'll quickly brief you about the company, and then we can see the details of e-invoicing and probably a couple of demos that will help you understand the system better. So a quick brief about my company. So Symtrax has been into business for more than 30 years now, serving 3,000 plus active customers around the globe, with the average association of 12.7 years with us. We are present worldwide with offices in US, UK, France, Germany, and in India we have offices in Mumbai and Pune, from we cater to the Asia Pacific region. Now, working out of these offices, we provide e-invoicing solutions to almost 17 countries across the globe. Let's have a quick poll here. So we would like to understand which ERP do you use right now. So is it SAP or IBM, or is it from the Oracle or Microsoft background, or is it Tally, or is it others? So for SAP and IBM, we have certified connectors. For Oracle, Microsoft Infor systems, we can connect using API or folders. For Tally, we can connect through folders, or soon we are coming up with an API connectivity. And for other solutions, we have to discuss based on the architecture and structure of the software. Thank you so much, everybody, for the votes. Let's proceed. So let's have a quick glance at what this e-invoicing system exactly is. So it's about registering your invoices, credit notes and debit notes for B2B, B2G and export business on a specific portal called the IRP, which has been provided by the government. Now, so far already the invoices were being registered on the portals, but they were being done at the end of the month. Now the new compliance says that these invoices should be registered first, then it will be valid, and then it can be sent to the customer. So here there are two ways to execute this process. So either you could prepare a JSON in the prescribed format and send it to the portal via an API call, or do a manual process. So for the kind of brackets of business where e-invoicing is being mandatory right now, this manual process is going to be possible in very less number of companies where the documents volumes are extremely low and the time criticality is also low. Otherwise, automation is probably the way which is going to make life smooth for the users. Now, the e-invoicing process helps us generate the IRN and QR code upon successful registration. This IRN and QR code is mandatory to be put on the document. The schema, which has been provided by the GST Council, contains up to 41 mandatory parameters and up to 79 optional parameters. So out of these mandatory parameters, some of them are condition based. So let's say for aspects or factors like the mode of transport. So if it's probably by road, we have to put in the vehicle number. If it's air or ship, we have to put some other parameters. So out of these 41, based on the relevant cases, we have to put in the mandatory parameters. Without all the mandatory required parameters going in, the registration would fail. This IRN that we generate is available on the IRP portal for 24 hours for cancellation, post which it will be removed from the portal, and for any cancellation activities, we'll have to go to the GST portal and do the needful. Now, this e-invoicing process in long term is definitely going to be beneficial for businesses. Immediately, the benefits are being reaped by the government in terms of transparency of business being done. But in long term, it's definitely going to benefit businesses as well, because it will bring more of a standardization and digitization in the processes. And right now, where a lot of paper handling is in picture, which makes it really difficult to manage these documents for a long time as per the compliance, which is demanding 7 years of storage. Getting to the digital mode is definitely going to help all the companies to easily manage their document management activities. Let's move ahead. Let's have a quick look what this IRN QR code is all about. So these are the two values that the portal produces based on the data we have provided and gives it back in the form of a encoded string to us. This IRN, which is invoice registration number, consists of the supplier's GST, the financial year of the invoice, the document type, and the document number. Now, since the IRN contains a combination of document number and financial year, repeat processing is not possible. And in the same year, if we pass on the same document number under the same GST or the same type of document, it's going to give a duplicate error. The QR code also consists of some fields which are captured from the documents. In this case, details of both the parties, the buying and selling ones, are captured. So the GST of the supplier, the GST of the buyer, the invoice number, the date, invoice value, line items, HSN, the IRN hash, and the digital signature to lock this data or protect this data will be a part of the QR code. Moving ahead, let's have a quick look at how this e-invoicing journey has been so far. So e-invoicing has already been implemented and made mandatory for companies with turnovers more than 500 crores from the 1st of October. This mandate got pretty much applied without much deviations. So only considering since it was phase one, a 1 month leeway was given to companies to generate invoice, execute the business, and register the invoice on the IRP within 30 days of invoicing. But starting 1st of November, it has all come to real time and the system has been working pretty well. Now, the government also, based on their experiences and hiccups, has been continuously improvising the system. So, moving ahead, these kind of deviations are rare to happen. So far, as per statistics, around 4.95 crore invoices have been generated through the portal from 27,000 GSTs in the month of October. Soon we should have the details for November as well. Now, the idea here, which the government is bringing in, is to have a single portal for entire business registration. So this e-invoicing portal will soon be pretty much merged with the GST system, wherein instead of filing invoices separately, once you register them on the IRP, they'll be automatically filed on the GST portal and will be available in Annexure 1 of the buyer, Annexure 1 of the seller and Annexure 2 of the buyer. For companies starting 1st of November who default to do the registrations on the IRP and send an invoice which is not valid are definitely going to be imposed with a fine. Also, by experience, what we are seeing is most of the large enterprises have stopped accepting invoices if they are not containing the QR code and IRN on them. Let's move ahead and try to see that what challenges were faced by these 500 crore plus companies when they implemented the solution. So the first one which was observed was modifying the existing system to suit the e-invoicing requirements. So now under this, what exactly was where the issues faced? So one is the information which is required to be passed as per schema. So maybe some information was missing, some information was not maintained in the master data. So these kind of challenges were there which were required to be tackled before going live. Then having multiple layouts, so getting the system set as per the multiple layouts was another thing which was observed by challenge by these companies. The second challenge majorly faced was getting the users accustomed to the new process. So earlier, if there were some mistakes in terms of data entry or there were some errors happening, the invoice would still get printed. We'll have to check it once before signing and dispatching. If anything is found to be error, we could just go and edit the invoice, print it again and send it. Now the change which has come in is if the data is wrong or if there is some error case, the final output is not at all available to the user. So this is something which the users took some time to get accustomed to. Now for handling and tackling both these initial problems, it was really important to define a SOP as soon as possible. So now already being short on time, companies were struggling to implement the solutions, and then also setting up the SOP was a challenge. So probably from these challenges, it's time that the companies doing e-invoicing in phase 2 learn and do these things well in advance. Another challenge faced here was tackling downtimes. So far, even if the ERP is down, the companies had some way to invoice to the customers, just print them, sign and send ahead. Now, if the ERP is down, it's integrated to the IRP via some method. So, or the IRP could be down, or the service provider system could be down. Now, unless we have successful registration done on the IRP, the invoice is not really legally valid to go ahead. So, this is something where the companies are still trying to figure out ways that how would they be tackling the downtimes. Let's move ahead and see what's the plan ahead when it comes to the e-invoicing. So it's planned to be becoming mandatory from 1st of Jan 2021 for taxpayers with annual turnovers of more than 100 crores in any year from 2017-2018. Accordingly, this API sandbox or testing environment has been enabled for these notified taxpayers. The GSTs pertaining to these taxpayers have already been activated on the trial portal. For companies below 100 crores, the e-invoicing is planned to be mandatory from 1st April 2021. We are yet to get a clarity that when they say below 100 crores, what exact bracket would it be? But then this is a news which is there in discussion right now. Moving ahead, also the e-way bill system is planned to be completely merged with the e-way bill IRP. Now, at present, IRP allows to generate e-way bills, but the further activities like cancellation, etc., are not exactly being allowed by that portal. So, moving ahead, we hope to see soon that these portals are going to get merged, and using only one portal, like I said earlier, all the activities will be managed. Now, these are some critical aspects that are important for you to consider since 1st of Jan is the deadline for going live for invoicing. So the first point itself is a closing deadline. So since it's less than one working month to go, it's really important that the right solution is identified, which will help you to implement it fast, get stabilized soon, and have the transition in the proper way. Another aspect to be considered here is the modification of your existing system to adopt to e-invoicing. So what parameters are present on the existing files? What is missing? If something is missing, how do we make sure that it comes as a part of the JSON which goes to the portal? So either we query that from your system, or you have to make changes to the layouts. This is something which is important to consider. Next aspect, which is really going to be important to consider, is getting a flexible and adaptable solution so that minimum number of modifications are required to the existing system, and within the timelines the task will be executed. And last but not least, implementing the solution well in time to ensure smooth transition. So since the government is continuously trying to improvise and make the portal better, if everything is set from their side, there are very less chances that any considerable deviation could be given to the companies starting to do e-invoicing in phase 2 from the 1st of Jan 2021. Let's move ahead. This is the architecture that is used for the e-invoicing and e-way bill system. So on the left hand side, as you see, it's the seller's system. So now from this system, our software, which is called Compio Hybrid, helps you to capture the data. We convert it to the JSON as per the prescribed schema from the government, send it to the portal for registration. The portal is going to make the necessary checks such as duplication, data correctness, etc. If everything is fine, we will be getting back a JSON file from the portal with extra details such as the IRN, QR code, acknowledgement number, etc. Now, once this information is back, we could take that information, put it on the input file, generate the final PDF output for you, which is ready to be sent to the customers. Required, we could send that file for digital signatures. And also, these details could be stored back in your ERP systems. Very similar structure works for the e-way bill system as well, where the data is captured, JSON is sent to the portal. Upon proper registration, we get back the e-way bill number, and that goes on the document. Let's move ahead and have a quick poll here. So which integration method would you prefer to have? It's directly ERP integration, or through Windows folders you would like to pass on the files to the process. So in case of direct integration, either it could be a certified connector or it could be through the API approach. I request all the attendees to please cast their votes. Thank you so much everyone for the votes. Let's have another question here. So what kind of architecture would you prefer? So is it going to be a SaaS solution that you would prefer to have? Or is it going to be an on-premise solution that you're going to prefer to have? I request all the attendees to please cast their vote. So here for on-premise solutions, it becomes easier for integrating with the ERPs or the billing systems. SaaS is more for companies with lower volumes and where the files are ready, or PDFs or XMLs could be simply taken and registered on the portal. Thank you so much everyone for your votes. Let's move ahead and have a quick look at the demonstration. So first one we will see the on-prem solution with the SAP system. So I'm going to quickly go here into the system and try to generate or release an invoice. That's the document number I choose and I execute. I select it and simply process. Now my software will capture that in real time, convert it to JSON with all the required parameters and send it to the portal. So as you see, the document got captured. We convert it to JSON with all the required parameters, which could be mandatory or non-mandatory ones, depending on the business process. send it to the portal. The portal will do the necessary checks and give the file back to us. Now, if there is an error, we shall get an error message which could be sent to you or the users over email. If it's successful, we'll get the return JSON back with the IRN, QR code, and acknowledgement details. Once we have that, we can put that on the document and send that on email or store it in the repositories. So that's the email that has come in. That's the return JSON. That's the invoice number. That's the IRN number associated with that. Let's try to open and access a final document here. Just click on the same. So now here, this final file could be completely as per your existing format, since we have taken it from your ERP itself. So that's the existing file from the ERP. So that's the IRP QR code, the IRN, other details of the invoice such as barcodes, etc., some existing customized QR codes, a digital sign, and the document is good to go ahead. Now this invoice with the IRN and QR code is prepared to be sent to the customers. Let's move ahead and see a demo through the cloud-based application. So here, this is the interface which is going to be there on the client system for monitoring the processes. So here there are different fields, the document details, etc. Let's just pick up an input file and put it in a folder either via manual or automated process. Let's just put that file here. Now this folder is being monitored by my system, so I will capture the file and start sending it to the portal for registration. Now it is trying to send the file. File has been sent here. It will be sent to the portal. Portal will do the necessary checks after processing. If it is successful, it is going to give us back the required details. Here the file has been processed. Now we take these details back which have come from the portal, and we try to rebuild the PDF with the additional or new details such as the IRN, QR code, etc. Once the file is ready, attachment symbol will appear in the entry, so that the users get to know, okay, that the final file is available. They could open it whenever they want to print it or distribute it. I'll just click on this and open the file. Here, like you see, again, this file contains the IRP QR code, all the details of the invoice, the IRN, and this invoice is again good to go for further process to the customers. Let's move ahead. So this is the kind of online or web-based dashboard that we provide for monitoring the entire process. So if you see on the screen, you'll be able to see that there are different documents in status such as cancelled, sent, duplicate, error. So the users or the authority for monitoring can easily keep a watch that what is the status of invoices which are getting processed from here. Also, the facility to cancel within 24 hours is available from here. Post 24 hours, the system will not allow to cancel from here. You have to go to the GST portal and cancel it. Also, we could generate reports manually from here, or we could automate this process of sending the report to you at end of the day or end of the week, the way you suit it to be. Let's move ahead and have a quick poll here. I would like to understand probably from how many locations when you do the e-invoicing, how many number of locations will be involved here. So will it be one location that would you prefer to bill from, or multiple locations? So that also helps us design the architecture. That also helps us suggest the right solution to you. There are some people who are still to vote. I request all the attendees to kindly cast your vote. Just hold on for a few more seconds. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for your votes. Let's quickly move ahead. So let's have a look at some benefits that we can offer you for when you partner to for your e-invoicing solution with Symtrax. So the solution we offer does not help make you do any programming efforts. Without programming effort, the system can be set up for e-invoicing procedure. We also offer you integrated or connected solutions for digital signatures and e-way bill. The solution is compatible with different file formats when it comes to input and output. So we could easily capture documents or information from you through spools, direct API integration, or PDFs or XML and CSV files. Also, these files could be in different structures, or you could have different PDFs or spools for your different business units or different plants or different entities. You can easily capture the same. The system will be compatible and ready to process the same further. The system stays external to your current setup, wherein only based on one level of integration we see the details and do the process. So not much modifications, or in some cases zero modifications are going to be required to your system. Since we do not program, or we do not make you program to any far extent, implementation or change management also are quick here. And needless to say, we offer a complete end-to-end automation where once the file is processed from your side, the entire remaining tasks are done by Compio, and you simply get the final output file for usage. These are some other solutions that we also offer, which could be used either separately or in conjunction with this solution. The digital signature and e-signature automation, QR codes for B2C or custom requirements, workflow automation system, an EDI system that you could have, business process automation, and document and report customization. Let's have a quick poll here. We would just like to understand, do we also need an e-waybill and a digital signature solution along with the e-invoicing one? I request the attendees to please cast the vote. So here, although digital signature is not mandatory anymore, but yes, definitely a lot of organizations from the point of view of safety and security of the document are still continuing to digitally sign. So from 100th slab also we have customers who are doing the same, and we have a few companies up to the $1 billion slab who are continuing to do the same. Thank you so much everyone for your votes. Let's quickly move ahead and have a look at some of the customers we work with. So like I said earlier, we work with more than 3,000 active customers around the globe. So for e-invoicing, some of the companies that we have worked in the 500 crore plus slab are Alice India, PT Engineering Solutions, RSB Transmission, Sovereign Metals, and many more. Also from this 100 to 500 crore slabs, probably there are more names coming in. Some have come in, some are still coming in. And another month we intend to have a good portfolio of customers working with us. There are some other customers across the globe that work with us for different projects. So we have customers across industries. So from auto side, we work with companies like Volkswagen, Volvo, John Deere, etc. From the ancillary side, Denso, Modine, Bridgestone Tires, etc. From the chemical side, Tata Chemicals, Yara Fertilizers, etc. Then we have FMCG companies, durables companies, etc. that work with us. From other segments, we have customers like BNP Paribas, HSBC, Bank of India, Indonesia, etc. from the banking side. Ricola, Pfizer, Himalaya, etc. from the pharma side. Companies like Dainik Bhaskar, Times Publishing Group, etc. from the other miscellaneous segments. That's it from my side from the demo perspective. I request you to please put in any questions if you have the same in the chat box, and we'll be more than happy to answer the same. So I request all the attendees to please cast in any questions if they have so. Okay, so we have a few questions here that I'll just quickly try to address. So first is it necessary to have all the details which are required for e-invoicing on the ERP invoice? So yeah, like I said, the data which is mandatory has to be there in the JSON. So either it could be there on the invoice, or there should be facility to take it from the database or any other source. But then that mandatory parameters will definitely be required. Next question is, what are the different ways to integrate and pass on the data to Compio for e-invoicing? So like we saw, it could be API integration, it could be the certified connectors, or it could be the input files in Windows folders. The next question we have here is it mandatory? Is there a facility for bulk invoicing on IRP? Yes, from user perspective, yes. Right now, the portal accepts documents one by one. So you could process the documents in bulk, you will register them one by one and provide the output to you. The next question we have here is, can an e-invoice be cancelled from your system, and how much time do you have to do it? So like I showed during the demo, the e-invoice can be cancelled from our system, and we have to do it within 24 hours. Do I need to generate an e-waybill after the generation of IRN? Yes, the e-waybill procedure is still there, going on, and is going to continue. Maybe in due course, the portals will merge, but the process will continue to go. Then next question is, can we have multiple output formats for invoices for different customers or business units? Yes, you can definitely have that. The system is totally prepared to capture files of different formats or of different layouts and process them further. Next question is it necessary to process in real time or we can schedule a task? You can of course schedule a task, but then as per the norms, invoices within last 24 hours can be registered and the IRNs will be valid for 24 hours again. What happens if an invoice fails to register on the IRP? Will it have to be processed again manually or is there option to be processed? Now, this will have to be processed again because, like I said, once the document goes and the invoice number is registered, we cannot process the document again. We have to do it with a new invoice number. If there is some problem because of interference of data, the registration has not happened, then anyways the document will have to be reprocessed from the ERP side. Is the company a console friendly device? Can I monitor it from my phone? Yes, it's quite a user friendly device and you can definitely monitor it from your phone as well. The QR code you showed during demo will have information which is predefined or we can customize it. Also, it will have to be a predefined information, but the structure could be customized. So we'll have to define it in the template what kind of a QR code data will it have, and then it can have the generation on the document. So I request the users to put in more questions if they have the same. We'll just hold on for a while more to welcome the questions. Okay, so as we see, there are no further questions coming up. So we'll be closing the session. So we thank all the attendees for your patience and time that you have given to us. And you can always reach out to us in the contact details being displayed on the screen. Also, we'll be more than happy to schedule a demo or a session for your team from the business and IT side. So thank you so much, everyone, again for your time and have a good day ahead. Thank you.